We are covering day 2 here, and we are going to delve a little deeper into that Neptune hurdle. I've teed it up as a 2-horse race there, Forgine, Red Sherlock, but maybe there's a few other horses that the panel are interested, Royal Boy, or is there others? What would you like to bring to the table?
Well, like I said, you mentioned Royal Boy. Obviously, an impressive win in the Tolworth. I just think he's more likely to run if the ground is testing in the Neptune. And the other horse owner Michael Buckley has in that is actually a horse called Beat That. And I know this is throwing it wide of the mark. He beat Champagne West by 10 lengths when looking like, you know, like a cart horse at Ascot. He didn't look great. He looked like he'd come on loads, and he won really comfortably. Next time, his last run at Sandown, he got beaten by Kalala Quay, and I think that day he looked like he was going to win, but just completely got the last all wrong. And he had horses like Oscar Fortune behind, who've beaten the likes of Deputy Dan. I think he's just a horse which has gone completely under the radar.
Yeah.
And if he actually turned up in this race and Royal Boy didn't, I think it could be a big prize.
I actually agree with you, because I was having a good look at this horse early, and it's a horse that no one's heard much about, and I swear that whether it pops up next, it'll probably run well.
Can I ask you, Adam, if you say
it's one
Royal
they've
Boy
kept.
won't go to this race, where would Royal Boy go else? Where would he go at Cheltenham?
I thought it was the Supreme Novices, no?
No, Royal Boy would.
I know he's entered in the Supreme, but obviously he stays further. But I just think, well, the ground is going to be, good to soft at Cheltenham?
At best.
His best form is on really bottomless, heavy ground, and I just think if it is a lot better, if maybe they won't risk him, or maybe they'll, go for the shorter race. But I think, the owner's got 2 in there. It could mean nothing. But I was just impressed by Beat That, and I think he's still very unexposed. And I think if he would have won that race last time, he probably would have been half the price that he is now, about 33 to 1 in places.
See, I think you're looking for a real cracker in this race in terms of horse. I think you're looking at the unbeaten ones. I'd like to bring, the new one was the winner of this race last year. We all know what that horse is bringing to the table at this Cheltenham Festival. Which one's the one for you, Sandy?
I think Forgine, even though his last win came at Limerick on the 28th of December, for me, the way that I know that you get hype horses, but this one feels like it is going to fulfill his potential.
You feel the hype?
I feel the hype on this one.
It's like Ireland will go into a recession if it doesn't win.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that they're not mucking about with this one. But I'd like to touch on a horse called Deputy Dan. He obviously won in January at Warwick, beating a horse called Masters Hill, who was beaten at Cheltenham by a horse called King's Palace, who I'm very sweet on, the Albert Bartlett. The third of that race, everyone knows, was Splash of Ginge.
Splash of Ginge,
who sits on the Betfair hurdle.
When he won that Betfair hurdle, I got a call. I've got the phone ringing. I've got a call. I've picked up. My mum's called me. I mean, I don't like announcing that on television. Mummy's called me. And she goes, I've had a bet, Splash of Ginge, 33 to £1 each way. Do you have it? I'm thinking, no, I looked at the form. Do you know what I mean? I didn't look at it and think, it's named after someone because he's ginger and back it. I looked at the form. But, I mean, Splash of Ginge, has he got any form to bring into this race? Or is that it for him? Was that his heyday?
I think you've missed the boat with Splash of Ginge.
Yeah, I think so.
I think, my friend's father owns Deputy Dan, and I know that they're particularly sweet, and they think it's a great horse.
Right. Just to say, lastly, last year in this race, Pont Alexandra was the big island horse, the big favourite, and he got turned over into third. So I'm not saying it's going to happen again to Forgine, but just be wary if you're having a bet.
And the same connections as well,
exactly,
I think.
Can I get a selection for this Neptune?
Well, I backed Red Sherlock anti-post.
You backed it, so you're sticking with it, and you're not going to change your mind.
I'm happy with it.
Red Sherlock.
I think the only reason Red Sherlock is going for the Neptune is because King's Palace is going to the Albert Bartlett, which I'm going to stick with a hype horse, Forgine, but I do like the English form of Deputy Dan. But I would be slightly concerned
if you're backing one,
I would be backing Forgine.
You and Forgine, and John?
I think Deputy Dan.